Hello, hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to Professor Nez's channel. We are live here on YouTube. Good to see you guys. In this video, I'm going to talk about, inspired by one of my good friends, fellow creator, Gord Eisman. I'll link his channel in description. He gave me this great idea because this is, I think, something that really relates to my channel and something that I've been sort of discussing for a while, and I think it's very relevant, and I don't think I've directly, specifically identified this issue. And the issue is how to deal with negative people. I've got two really super easy tips that you can apply today, and you can start really the process, because every single day in our lives, you know, being a human being, it's impossible not to deal with negative people almost on a day-to-day basis. Some people maybe deal with it more than others, but I think I'm going to come up with two really perfect tools that you can implement that can help you when you deal with it. And sometimes those negative people are the closest to home. Welcome. Let me know where you're coming in from. Come on in the stream. Let me know where you actually discovered this, because I did promote this all over social media. I did go on Facebook. I went on Periscope, on Twitter, Instagram. So let me know how you found out about the live stream. And if you're watching this on the replay, fantastic. You're still going to get a super ton of value. This is not going to be a long stream. I'm going to keep it nice and short and succinct, and help you specifically how to deal with negative people, because it's very important. Let me know how the audio is coming in. What do you think of this little lighting schematic? How's the dew? Is the dew looking kind of blue, or is the dew working for you? I doubt it. Very excited. You know how much of a live video evangelist I am. If you're new to this channel, you're new to this stream, I am Professor Nez. I am an author, I'm a writer, I'm a professor. I'm also somebody who talks about mindsets, self-investigation, self-awareness, and how to communicate. After you discover who you truly are, how to communicate that effectively to the world. That is my MO. I'm also a career coach, life coach, consultant, business consultant. We're hosting a podcast, the Digital Entrepreneur Show. Yes, I'm everywhere and anywhere, trying to do the best I can to get my message out there and trying to help as many people as I can, because that's my gig. I love to help. I love to inspire. Okay, let's get right into it. How to deal with negative people. So this was a really interesting message that I received from my friend and fellow creator who talked about certain things that were happening with him and some certain individuals that he was dealing with, not to divulge too much. But here's the first thing you got to understand. The first thing you really have to understand about negative people, okay? If people are being negative around you, if people are, trying to bring you down and trying to bring the energy down, and the thing about negativity is just as infectious as enthusiasm. It's a disease, it's contagious. So if you're surrounding yourself with negative people, it rubs off. It really has a really funky residue and can really linger, okay, and affect how you go on to proceed in your day. So, here's the first thing. The first thing has to do with perspective on how you handle, how you deal with negative people. First of all, negative people don't just hate, for no reason. People are not negative, when they're happy, when they're successful, when things are going well. This has many, many scientifically backed, neuroscientifically backed research and data that shows, but also just on an intuitive level, just from a creator's perspective as well, negative people are coming from the epicenter of negativity, the epicenter of frustration, at the very core of that negativity. When people hate on you, they're usually in pain. Okay, people don't just hate, for no reason. There's usually some type of seedling or some spawn of that emotion that really has nothing to do with you. So the first real amazing tip, and something I talk about a lot on my mindset channel here on YouTube, is mindset, okay, is having perspective. Negative people, usually when they're being negative, usually when they're taking out their frustrations, when they're trying to spew and bestow their toxicity onto you, it usually has something to do with something that has absolutely nothing to do with you. And usually it means at the very core and the deepest recesses, at the foundation of all that negativity is pain. People who are in pain, people who are frustrated, people who are going through some type of traumatic or dramatic situation or circumstance, usually that's the sort of manifestation. That's the result of all that pain. So if you understand that, I think that's really, and this may even kind of supersede the next tip I'm going to give you. But if you really understand that, if you understand that at the epicenter, I see some people coming in. Let me know where you're joining from, please. And if you have any questions, I'm just going to get through the content really quickly. All right, Tim, how are you? Good to see you, Tim. Long time no see. Welcome to the stream. What do you think of the lighting? This is some kind of funky. I'm trying to do something different for my live streams on YouTube, just to give it a little bit of cadence, a little bit of contrast from the regular videos, which are really well lit. Trying to give a little more intimacy. I actually kind of like it. I do this on Periscope as well. So I hope you do too. But Tim is a fellow creator who's in our wonderful group on Facebook. And if you want to leave the kind of link to that, Tim, if you feel like it, go ahead and write that in the comments. Hey, Graham, is that my man Graham from Periscope? Good to see you, sir. I hope that is that Mr. Gosh, I forgot your handle again. What was it? Infectious something? I totally forgot your handle. All right, Graham, did you subscribe to that? Floating. That's right, floating fungus or something like that, right? Graham, I want you to subscribe to this channel, okay? You are a awesome individual. I'm so excited to connect with you. I followed you on Twitter, by the way. Great stuff. Mr. Graham is an awesome dude. I'm really happy to have you be a part of the tribe. So the first tip has to do with perspective. Awesome. Thank you, Graham. The first tip has to do with understanding that negativity, that toxicity has absolutely nothing to do with you. Let me know how the audio is coming in too, Tim and Graham and anybody else who's in here. Let me know how the audio is coming through, if the audio is good, if it's not good, if it needs to be louder or higher, I can adjust that. Fantastic. Thank you, Graham. You know, it's very easy to react. Here's the thing. It's very simple to get angry. It doesn't take a lot of effort to get angry and return that hate and return that negativity with just simple negativity. You know, I'll never forget what Robert De Niro, the great actor, once said. He said, the easiest thing in the world to do is to get angry. It takes no effort to get angry back. It takes great strength. It takes great motive character. It takes great dignity and composition and disposition to take a step back and just not allow. Don't forget, Nez Nation, you have the power. The power lies in you. You get to decide who affects you and who doesn't affect you. Absolutely, Tim. Yes, way too easy to return negative emotions. I got to get my glasses now. Old man alert. Old man alert. This is an old man. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, so it doesn't take a lot of skill. It doesn't take a lot of skill to return negativity when you're being exposed to negativity, or when somebody's dropping their hate on you or their bad boogie. But it takes great strength to take a step back, breathe, take a real big deep breath. Okay, this is not hippy dippy. This is not namby pamby. This ain't Oprah. Okay, what I mean is, take an actual breathing is an unbelievable gift that we all have and we don't implement. Leave that comment again, Tim. I missed it. Take a real big deep breath, okay, and allow that to subside. Allow that feeling, because that real first jolt, you know, when somebody's really getting on your nerves, when somebody's really just, all they're doing is they're just a faucet of negativity. They're complaining about everything. They're taking it out on you. They're blaming you. They're finding ways to really get under your skin. When that faucet, when you're being bombarded by that faucet of negativity, you feel it. You feel it. It rises in your chest, and then it gets into your mouth, and it leaves that real sour, bitter taste in your mouth, and all your stuff just starts getting real funky, and you can't operate. Actually, neuroscientifically, it's proven that when you're in that heightened state of frustration and anger, that nothing is in optimal condition, especially your neurotransmitters, your blood, your heart rate, your nervous system, right? All the neurons that are firing. It brings you down, Tim says, and next thing you know, you start reacting the same way. Exactly. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you, Tim. That's what I love about Nez Nation. Smart social. I got a smart tribe of people. I love you guys. You guys are so awesome. So that's the first thing. Once you have that perspective, and you'll find that if you keep this understanding sort of locked in there, remember, this channel is just a reminder. None of this stuff is new. You already know all this stuff. It just hasn't been delivered in this way, in the way that I deliver it. And I'm hoping to remind everybody. I'm not a teacher, I'm not an expert, not trying to be anything like that. Just a simple reminder, okay, of what you need to do, things that have helped me, and hopefully it'll inspire and help you too. We're really talking about being an effective human being. That's the key. That's the key to this channel. Everything that I talk about, all the videos that I put out, all the content really has to do with this thing called human. The amount of time that we have left is short. So really it's about productivity, it's about strategy, it's about science, it's about, you know, really maximizing, okay, your time that you have, that's so little, and making the best of it. So as soon as you understand that they're not hating you because of you or anything that you did, that hate and negativity has absolutely zero goose egg to do with you, that can help sort of allow that feeling to kind of rise and subside. Because anger, it's just, you know, don't label it even as anger. Don't label it even as frustration or depression or anxiety. Just really try to look at it objectively. And that's tip number 2. Okay, try to look at these negative, toxic people objectively and don't add so much narrative to it. Don't add so much of a story to it. Don't label it, okay? Because once you label it, once you name it, once you attribute, okay, that narrative to it, then it has true purpose. It has life. It gives it life. It's a way of pumping fuel into that feeling. But if you just see it for what it is, it's just an energy that rises and subsides. That's all it is. Yeah, don't label it and then you don't own it. That's perfect, Tim. That's absolutely perfect. Don't label it and then you don't own it. It's just an energy. It's just a force that goes through you, but it always subsides. The great neuroscientist Jill Bolte Taylor, who basically she transcribed an episode of a stroke. She was in a heightened state of consciousness experiencing a stroke. I remember her, she once said, this is a neuroscientist, somebody way smarter than me. She once said in an interview that anger only lasts 90 seconds. But because we react before that 90 seconds is up, in other words, before we allow the energy to arise and subside, we tend to react and we tend to kind of be compulsive and impulsive. That's where a lot of shit happens. That's where a lot of bad boogie happens, right? Somebody says something about our girl. Somebody says something demeaning. Somebody threatens us. Somebody mad dogs us. Somebody's treating us ill. We tend to react. Okay, we tend to relinquish. Here's the key. We relinquish all of our control to that feeling, to that emotion, and more importantly, to that individual. So what happens is it's just pain on top of pain. It's just hate on top of hate. Somebody has to take the position of strength. Somebody has to be the voice of reason. Why not you? In the words of the great leader, civil rights leader Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. If you're seeing a lot of shit around you, why emulate that shit? You know, because here's what I mean by that really quickly. You know, we see somebody who, you know, let's say, for example, and I have a perfect example of this. There's somebody that I know right this second, okay? Every time I see them at my gym, something about them, it just drives me crazy. I feel that feeling go through me, right? Okay, they're never nice. They never have a nice thing to say. They're actually very negative. They never have a real warm, inviting expression. You know, they're always kind of, you're a human being, it's going to affect you. There's nothing you can do about, you know, this channel is not about, you know, avoiding being a human being. You're going to be affected by things, but how long they last, okay, how much they control you, how much power they have over you is entirely in your control. How much power they have over you is entirely in your control, right? So it's really easy when you see these types of individuals, or maybe you keep having these recurring instances. Let's say it's a family member who's really toxic and negative, and every time you try to share something about your life that you're excited and passionate about, they have this unbelievable, uncanny way, and I've got family members like this too, hello, to bring you down. They have this unbelievable, it's almost like they're ninjas. They're like wizards of bringing you down. They just have this knack, right? It's really easy to just say, well, they don't care, so I don't care, so F it, you know, or they're jerks, so I'm going to be jerks back to them, or they don't deserve my kindness, so I'm not going to be kind back. So as Gandhi says, be the change you want to see in the world. Instead of reacting, okay, here's that word again, instead of reacting to it and being so compulsive and almost, you know, in some instances, with all honesty, taking the easy way out, right? Be patient. Allow that energy to go through you. Don't react to it. Be the change you want to see. Be the higher person. Take the higher ground. You know, Martin Luther King used to say, you can't beat hate with hate. You can't beat darkness with darkness. All you got to do is turn on the light and then watch all that darkness evaporate. As soon as you turn on the light, everybody right now watching this on the replay and live, go into a dark room. Go into a dark room tonight with all the lights turned off and really just kind of sit there and immerse yourself in the darkness for just 5 seconds and then turn on the light and watch how quickly that darkness scurries away. So light is eternal. Light is the answer. Okay? Turn on the light. Turn on that inner light. Take that higher ground. And not only will you feel better, but you're also disallowing that negativity to have power over you. So how to handle negative people? Number one, have perspective. Just to wrap it up here. Number one, just have, and then I'll take questions if you have questions. Number one, have perspective. Understand that people who are negative, people who are constantly manifesting negativity and really thrusting that negativity onto you and others and just spreading hate, understand that they're in pain. That no natural, happy, successful, you know, optimally functioning human being does that for hate's sake. There's usually something deeper going on. 99.99% of the time, unless they're mentally something really defunct going on. Number two, take the higher ground. As Gandhi says, be the change you want to see in the world. Kill them with kindness, basically. You'll feel better and you will have much more of an opportunity. You'll have much more effect, more productivity, just more practical. You'll have a better way of reacting and dealing with negative people. Because if you jump into that swamp, it's just going to get dirtier. It's just going to get uglier and muckier. And that's the key. Perspective and take the higher ground. 2 ways on how you can handle and deal with negative people. Any questions, any concerns, any comments, any thoughts? If you're watching this on the replay, okay, please make sure to leave your questions and concerns. How do you deal with negative people? How do you do it? How do you handle it? Let me know. I want to hear from you. And please share any ideas that maybe you've learned through the years. And if you have any other further questions or further elaborations or anything you want to add to the discussion, please leave that in the comments below. And as always, if you want to discover who you truly are through self-investigation, self-awareness, mindset, growth mindset, and then learn how to communicate your true self, your authentic self, to the world with communications and writing and all the things that we talk about on this channel, please don't forget to click subscribe, okay, so you'll always get notified of when we produce new videos weekly, new inspirational videos weekly, sometimes 2-3 times a week, to be honest. And I go live all the time. You know me, I'm Mr. Live. Tim says, my wife always says, why let that person's actions dictate your day? And the key verb there, Tim, is let. You're absolutely right. The key verb is let. So who has the power? Who has the true power here? Somebody can only affect you if you let them. Somebody can only destroy your day if you let them. An experience can only shroud and pollute every other subsequent experience if you let it. Who has the power? Discover this. This is true freedom. And this bleeds into every area of your life, Nez Nation. That's why I focus my entire content and my entire channel on mindset, because it all starts here. It all starts internal. It's the internal world that we've been dismissing. We're too focused on the external world, money, things, status, likes on Facebook, subscribers. We're too focused on external validation. But when your internal is singing, the external don't matter. Okay? Not to say you don't turn into, you don't turn into some kind of Himalayan monk and just retire in the mountains. No. You're still a human being. You still get affected, but you're a much more optimally functioning human being. You're much more you. You're authentic you. That's what this channel is all about. And I love it. Being somebody who experienced extreme devastation and molestation from this dude right here, and walking through that fire. Keith, how are you? Good to see you. A fellow student. My mom always taught me to kill them with kindness. Say that again, Tim. Keith, I lost that. Sorry. Keith Ruiz, good to see you. Keith is a student of mine. Nice to have you on the stream, Keith. Having been somebody who's experienced extreme depression and anxiety. Yeah, hi Keith. It's so good to see you, man. I hope your summer's going well. I hope you're going to take me next semester. I'd really like to see you again. Keith is a very smart, sensitive, creative dude. Very intelligent. Gets everything that I talk about in my class. Having gone through that hell, and I always say this, that you can't talk about hell unless you've walked through the fire. And having studied the mind for almost 30 years now, and studied how Western psychology and Eastern methods and Eastern philosophy really apply, I think I bring this nice blend to this channel. It's just my experience. I'm not an expert. Okay? Don't take everything I'm saying for gospel. Test it out. Test it out in the real world. I tell my students this all the time. Don't listen to Professor Nez. You find out for yourself. That's where the true power lies. That's where true experiential learning. This is not an intellectual channel. Hey guys, I've got some tips and strategies. Now go out there and wow them. Nah. That's not what this channel is all about. Experiential learning. You need to roll in the hay with these talks and these teachings. You need to put them to the test. As a matter of fact, put everybody's shit to the test. Find out if it applies in the real world. Why do you need to discover who you truly are? Why is that important? Why is internal cleansing so crucial to the external validation? Why is mindset the #1 focus and the premise and foundation for all success or unsuccess in your life? Why is it important to have communication skills to really understand your story and communicate that to the world? Does that have any value? Test this shit out in the real world. That's what it's all about. Test it out. Don't take anything I'm saying for gospel. Anybody who says they have the answers, anybody who says I know better than you, is full of it. I would question that. In all sincerity, question it, including the dude you're looking at right now. Question it all. That's where the true learning arises from. In the words of Aristotle, when you understand who you truly are, when you become empowered by self-awareness, neither friend nor foe can touch you. Again, this does not imply that you're not going to be a human being. You're still going to be a human being. You know, there's a lot of gurus and so-called experts and so-called mindset coaches and so-called yada, yada, yada. They claim they know everything. I'm not saying that. And they claim that you need to be an ascetic or you need to be somebody who changes everything in your life. And no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you don't have to change a damn thing on the external. It's all internal. You can still have your 9 to 5. You can still go to baseball games. You can still do everything you need to do. You know, enlightenment is not synonymous with, you know, this sort of reclusive lifestyle. No. Wake up. It's about waking up. It's just about waking up to the truth. But again, I'm not here to say this is the truth. I'm here to discuss and remind things that have worked for me. Hopefully they inspire you. But as always, test my shit in the real world. I think anybody who would feel comfortable calling themselves an expert or a guru, I would double check that, double vet that, investigate that severely. Okay, I have got to get going here. So anybody have any last second questions? Before I go, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, you've been watching Professor Nez, my channel, all about discovering who you truly are and how to communicate that story to the world more effectively. Please don't forget to subscribe. And also, please leave comments below on anything that you have to add to this topic. How do you handle negative people? How do you deal with negative people? Any tricks, tips, strategies, anything you've learned? Leave that in the comments below. I want to come back and check it out. This is your favorite professor, Professor Nez. I'm going to be signing off. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, don't let this dude win. Don't let this dude win. And who am I talking about? You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the little guy that lives inside your head whose favorite word is can't. Who's constantly bombarding you with doubt, fear, insecurity. Who's so good at convincing you. Who's so good at manipulating you that you believe every word he says. Don't let that dude win. And you will win. And you'll finally be liberated and free. from all negativity, not just from people, but from the internal negativity. The internal negativity. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you, guys. Take care.